Welcome again, and again, thanks for joining the Global Webinar Day at Infosim. Our topic today is Don't Buy a Pig in a Poke, Pick Your UNMS After the PoC. My name is Dietmar Kneidl, Director of Sales Europe with Infosim, and I will be your moderator today. Joining us from his office in Wiesbaden is my colleague Christopher Kalkhof, who is responsible for our business development. Chris will guide us through the presentation and the live demo in today's webinar. So good afternoon to you, Chris. Welcome to the webinar.
Good afternoon, Dietmar. Good afternoon to the audience. Yeah, I try to give my best for this presentation.
Well, we expect nothing less, Chris. All right. Well, before I hand over things to Chris, a couple of household items. If you have visited our webinars more frequently, you know that all of you are muted, so we don't have an open mic session. In order to keep down the background noise, if you do have questions, please feel free to type them in the questions or chat window of the GoToWebinar application. And we'll be taking care of those questions either during the webinar through the chat or in the end of our webinar in the Q&A session. As usual, we're also recording this event. You will get a quick email tomorrow with more information on that recording, location, etc. And that's already everything I had to say from my end. So going ahead, and I'm turning over control to our presenter, Chris Kalkhof. Chris, it's your show.
Thank you, Dietmar. So again, my name is Christopher Kalkhof. I'm the guy in front of the prospects of the end customers, with partners, without partners. And I want to share my things on this from this meetings with you. So after a first presentation of StableNet, every prospect or every end customer say, yes, give me a good reason why I have to buy, install, and operate now StableNet. And here I come to the agenda. I will give you the 5 reasons why do you need to do a POC before selecting a unified network management system. And then I will go to some preparations before POC. Then I will show you what we are deliver in a case of an POC to the end customer, what kind of support and so on. Then we will have a live demo from some very, very impressive things, and then we come to the Q&A session. So yes, 5 reasons why you need to do a PoC before you selecting a special UNS or special functionalities or a new UNS. So you have to be safe that this new software brings you not new problems. It's very easy. I have a good example for this. If you have a company car and you have a delivery to a customer with a weight of 300 pounds or more, and your trunk have only the availability of 300 pounds, so you need to extend this trunk. You go to your to your logistic departments, and they say, okay, no, we have no company car with this kind of trunk, so go to your dealer or take your delivery to your customer on your back and walk by feet. So you have a manual workaround, and this is the same. Identify the problem, an existing pain in your IT environment, a daily problem, every month recurring problem. So if you have this on the table, we are able to show you how we solve this problem within POC. And so with this, you have a perfect result after a POC. It's very digital. So you see, yes, this POC solved my problem. I like this software suite, StableNet, so I want to buy it. I want to install. I want to operate it. Or the result is, oh no, sorry, this not solve my problem. So, but you have a strictly good result. You have yes or no, and that's a very clear result and perfect for your business decisions. Some things in front, what you have to do to run a POC with StableNet. Important thing is your KPIs. What are you expecting from this POC? What are your internal KPIs? Maybe some KPIs regarding some internal applications, or you need special bandwidth between switches and routers and so on. Your personal or your business KPIs, you need to define it. It's very important. The next thing is, are all responsibilities around this POC clear? That means if the IT department, the guys from the firewall, the guys from the switches, from the servers, are they all on board, or are you doing here this all by your own? So we know that the POC is very successful, that when everybody knows about this, that there's a new tool, we test it, we try it, so let's participate everybody on this POC. Important when start the POC and the end. So you have a clear phase for the POC and you are able to look to every kind of functionality of StableNet in this phase of the POC. And make sure that you will have a result, no or no go. Is it helpful or not? And then it's an effective POC. What we are bringing into this from Infosim side, we are able to offer you a free 30-day StableNet trial PoC license. That means you have all features available with StableNet, all standard features. You are able to do everything. You are able to discover devices. You put measurements on this, and so on and so on. You are able to generate alarm queues. So you get the full package. You have a full equipped StableNet. You get the access to our support portal and ticket system. It's in the internet, you get login, you have all kinds of possibilities to download documents, the right technical papers for the preparations of the VMs and so on. It's all done, it's all there. So you don't need a special request for this, you only have to go to our support portal and download it. You have a remote access to our support team via the ticket tool, via our support portal. So you are able to ask questions, you are able to, and you get the answers from our team. So we delivered you a normal workday remote support for your StableNet POC. Then we have a big knowledge database in our support system. It's a small wiki, so you see best practices, you see examples. We are not leaving you alone in this POC. So important thing is that we are helping you to run the StableNet server, to run the StableNet agents, to run the POC regarding to your requirements. Yes, now what are the important things in a POC? I want to show it live. It's the best thing to do. So I will change now to a StableNet server. The server is available in our headquarters. I'm remotely logged in, and everything in the POC starts if the installation is done, the database is running, and so on and so on and so on. Everything starts with the inventory, with the discovery of the inventory. So we solve this in a very smart way. So you have here a button on the left side in the master GUI from StableNet. You push it and you are able to do a discovery, to scan your network, to realize what's in my network. So you only have to decide, okay, go to my agent, and it's a GWD to discovery, some free files, and then you say, okay, I have a subnet discovery, range discoveries. I want to discover it by a CSV file. It comes from my IT department with all IP addresses. We have everything. So you only say, okay, I want to discover in this range. Oh, sorry. This was too fast. But I'm able to go back. GWD discovery. Sorry. But you see, I'm able to. It's then you are able to say, okay, when my job starts now, it's a single job, or I want to scan my network every day for new devices or in special intervals. It's all possible. You configure it here in the Smart Wizard. Then you say, okay, I have my XML discovery templates. This is not the right thing to discuss in a POC. XML discoveries, if you are fit with XML, you are able to do this. But if you are not fit with XML, we have for this wizard. Then you are able to set up your discovery properties. My and our useful thing here is use the standard SNMP in all kind of versions, from version 1 to version 3. So put in the SNMP community name. Normally it's public. If you have separate or special names, separate it by a comma, put it into this field. You have the WMI parameters to analyze Windows server systems, Windows-based systems, but here you have to configure it on the Windows side, the WMI access. Then, and this is really easy to use, you are able to discover your network in layer 2 and layer 3. You are able to discover the routing tables to get all deep detailed informations out of your network, and this is all in this phase of the POC. So you have some value-added functionality. You have inventory. You have now an overview about your layer 3 and layer 2 communication. And after this, now you want to measure some standard functionalities like IP SLR, jitter things. So select it and say, okay, all is done. And now the job is ready to run. And if you run the job, you get the answer from your networks, you get all the devices in your network. And then you see here in a kind of a device list with with IP addresses or DNS names, or you get it in a tree. You have the possibilities to sort this tree. And now you have information about your network. So now I'm interested in a special device. It's my lovely device. It's a router system. It's a Cisco-based router system. So I go here. Sorry, I know the name of the system. DNS name. It's in Dallas. It's our beautiful router in Dallas. Oops, device name. Here is the router in Dallas. And after the first discovery, you get directly, if the MIPS are running, if all this done in the pre-phase of the POC, you get all informations in near to real time from your equipment. And this is all with one application. And now you have the first overview about your network, about your complete entire infrastructure. You see now the system is running, the Cisco router. You have to click on the modules. Okay, these modules are in these routers. I have the properties from the router. I have the interface directly in the overview, what interface is working, what is not working. And I have the perfect tool to discover the neighborhood, to expand the neighborhood, who is a part in this network. And if it's done with the discovery, probably all is running perfect. You have more functionalities. You go to the service analyzer. You run in your network a VPN service. So you go to the service view, you go to the VPN and look, Singapore, Dallas, you see your VPN service. And you don't have to draw this in Visio and look to all data or something. No, that's real-time information from your network. And if I'm going to some fancy things, I'm able to show new views to the network, like 3D, maybe similar to 3D views. I see the logical views of the VPNs, and only with a mouse click. You don't have to start another application. You don't have to start anything else. It's all done with StableNet. So you get the complete package of this. You have everything available. And now look to your KPIs, and now you are interested in bandwidth between two router systems. So for this, sorry, we have the possibility to generate weather maps with data, with, I show you one, it's an IoT weather map or an Infosim, it's a graphic weather map of your complete router infrastructure. Now you go to the balloon infrastructure. You are able to change any kind of layout of this infrastructure. And now you like this, okay? And now you want to present this to the colleagues, to normal network management vendors. You have to make a call to the professional services team and say, hello, I have now a perfect picture in my UNMS. I want to provide this picture to my colleagues. I need to push this to a web server, how we will do this, and so on and so on and so on. It's very easy with StableNet. If you design such a view, such a weather map in StableNet, it's automatically transported to a web server. You have a web login, you have a web GUI to StableNet. Oops, just a moment. It was my fault. And then you see here, go to weather maps, and the weather map, GWD graphic, the weather map, what I show before. And here, perfect functionalities. You are in the web-based GUI, and you don't, in the web-based interface, and you don't need a master GUI or a big administration training to show, okay, show me the London router and show me the device information. And this is all web-based. You get the information from the system directly from the network. You see that you have a IP SLR jitter problem. We have a packet loss on this system. So based on the web GUI, and you don't have to activate some web designer or professional services. That's a standard functionality in a PoC with StableNet. And if you want to expand more information, what kind of adapters, what kind of physical elements are behind this Dallas router, click it here, and you see all kind of elements. You see the measurements. You see every specific thing who is inside this router, and all things are working fine. And if you go to this London router, show the state tree, and then you see I have an IP SLA problem. Sorry, here, IP SLA problem. And you have identified directly from the web GUI, directly from the inventory, your problem that there's a IP SLR packet loss. And I go back to the big GUI. So that's only the information for you that you, if you decide, yes, I want to test StableNet, I want to run a PoC with StableNet, you get a web server. It's included. You have the web server, and you are able to spread out this information to the colleagues. You only have to send them a web link and see here, it's an actual weather map of the problems. Here's the device information of this engine, and they never have to change the application. They never have to change or to run another application. And last but not least, very important thing is the showroom to our StableNet to show the results of this PoC. And we are using for this the report engine. And the report engine, it's similar to all other wizards. The report engine provides a perfect wizard. So GWD to report, I will show you. Report. It's a single report. It's an HTML-based report. You have the possibility to select templates for this report. System customer and reference customer from us, BMW. You want to make a report. You're the administrative guy on the BMW side. I need a BMW template for my report. Yes, and now I design my report, and I only want to spread out. I want to only communicate the beautiful weather map. What we have there, it's the GWD graphic. Yes, finish. And now you say, okay, the mail destinations, who wants to receive this email, all administrators, finish, and now the report is generated. And now here it's in the list. I go to this button, show the dashboard report. We are changing to the web client, and you see the report. We have the weather map. It's a BMW template, and the report is ready. And you are able to provide this information to all other team members in frame of this PoC. So I want to show you with this powerful tool that you are able to report the results from this PoC in a perfect way, in a perfect professional way. So with this report engine, you are able to go to the management, the people who pay for StableNet, the people who define the budgets for StableNet, and say, hey, here, look at this. This is the perfect form of presentation. All outputs, all good outputs from StableNet to the management. Yes, last but not least, the same. I want to show you in a fast way to how you are able to set up an alarm monitor for special KPI for this PoC. You know that your internal Microsoft architecture provides a CRM web request, and you want to see that this CRM web request runs properly. Okay, I will go to this here and modify this. Sorry. New monitor to this measurement. And now you say, and that's the important thing for the KPIs. You see now it's a connection time of the HTTP port for the CRM system. And if it's run all perfect, green light. But if something happened, it's going too slow. The sales guys, the user from the CRM system say, hey, we are not able to work, it's too slow. So define an alarm. This alarm will represent your KPI. So then you set up the alarm notification groups to the administrators, to the sales team. We have some problems with the availability of the CRM, and it's done, and the alarm is configured, and you will get an email or a short message service or an alarm screen on the dashboard that we have some problems with the HTTP request from the CRM system. So you see that you are doing everything in a frame of the PoC. It's so easy. You only have to be clear with your KPIs and your daily questions to your network. So now I'm looking to my watch and said 5 minutes. I will go back to the presentation. So, and one thing, we have a really good and big PoC done with Intel in the past, and we have a nice video on YouTube for this. It's produced from Intel. So I think go to the YouTube channel, go to the YouTube portal and type in the search field Intel and Infosim and look to the video, and I think then you see the big power of StableNet. So yes, now I will come to the question and answer session. Dietmar.
All right. Well, Chris, thank you very much for that presentation and live demo. I have uploaded the slides we've been using for this webinar in the handout section. So if you're interested in that, feel free to download. Handout section is to be found in the GoToWebinar application you have on your desktop. So feel free. And well, we have a number of questions. I was answering a couple of them during your presentation, Chris, but a question that has popped up actually a number of times is, so it was from several of our audience members, and pretty much is about, will Infosim provide support during a proof of concept?
Yeah, I mentioned it before on one slide. And yes, we will provide any kind of support, the download portal, the support portal, and the direct access to our support team via phone and email. Okay,
well, to be a little bit more precise, this is actually a question, a two-part question. So yes, we're providing support, but what type of support do we do? Do we do on-site support? Does it mean, will Infosim technicians and developers be on-site with the customer?
90% of our POCs, it's possible to support this remote. For special customers, you know them, special requests, big projects, we are coming on-site, and we are doing this together with the customer, with a partner. It depends on the project, but normally you have all kind of remote access, remote support, and if you need special kind of, feel free, contact us, and we will find a solution to come over. No problem.
All right, well, I guess that answers that question. And another question that has come up, and I think you mentioned part of that, but maybe you can give us kind of a summary. So one audience member wanted to know what's the most important requirement for a PoC? I mean, like your top 3 or your top 5. What do you have to do in any case before you do start a PoC?
Yes, the most important thing is to talk to the guys from the IP network, to the administrators of the firewall, to activate the ports. We only need a special range, a really small special range of dedicated ports to communicate with the network. That StableNet is able to communicate over the agent to the network. And this is in some companies a big challenge. In some companies, it's very easy. No, not so much firewalls. This is one of the best things, but this recommends that you have to talk to the team before a POC. You have to talk to the firewall administrators, and it's very important that you be clear about your problem, about your issue, about your topic, why you run this topic, why you run this POC. That's 2 things very important. The rest is not rocket science.
Okay, well, I'm sure our audience is glad to hear that. And I do have a final question, something that I find is a very good question coming from one of our audience members, I think from the UK. And the question is, can we or can the customer keep the reports we have provided after the PoC is done, or we'll just take everything with us?
That's our gift for the customer. Yes, that's the result of the POC. Now, this report is the result of the POC and it belongs to the customer. No question about this. Okay, well, I don't think we're talking about the final report on the PoC, but you know, you've done a few PoCs on your own. I think our audience member wanted to know about, well, you know, all the little reports you do between, like, can you do this and can you do that? That's not something we're going to take away. That's stuff we will leave with the customer, right? Yeah, right. Okay, good. Well, I guess that clarified that. Well, it was a good question nonetheless. Yes, okay. Perfect. Well, thanks again. If you would advance another slide, then I'll let our audience know that, of course, we have more web sessions on other StableNet topics available. Just advance one more slide, Chris, will you? And we, of course, have a resource section on the website. So if you are interested in more information on various topics, case studies, industry reports, you see it, then feel free to visit the website and help yourself. Let me just check on here. No, there was no additional question. There was just a thanks from our audience. Well, again, Chris, thank you very much for the session. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Be sure to check your inbound tomorrow about that email with the recording.
And I guess that's all from us today. Don't miss our next Global Webinar Day, November 13th. Invite is going to be sent out in about 2 weeks. We're still not 100% sure about the topic. We have a number of options, so, well, I guess you got to be surprised. And in case you're not on our Global Webinar Day invitation list, so you've been coming here by referral of a colleague, just drop us an email at newsletter@infosim.net, and we will add you to our list. Again, thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.